Welcome to the Milo Beasley Show, dude, episode number 134. A special guest this week, Shannon Moore. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man?
Thanks for taking the time to chat with me for a couple minutes, man.
Yes, sir. Anytime, man.
We're hanging out here, the Pro Wrestling 2.0. A lot of really good matches going on tonight. And you just told me that you just moved here to the Orlando area, or well, to Central Florida, I guess, Cocoa, right?
Yeah, man. Originally I'm from North Carolina, obviously. Me and my wife, we had a house in Chicago too. That's where she's from. So we dumped all our real estate, decided to head south, man, so we can get to the good weather. And it's just a nice place to be.
It's pretty perfect right now. Or like it's like winter, but it's like 80 degrees outside. It was like 85 degrees outside today.
The vitamin D from the sun, man, it does my joints good.
So yeah, you said you moved here right before the hurricane. Now, did you and when you lived in North Carolina, did you have a lot of hurricane scares up there? Or
every once in a while you'd get one that rolled through, but it wasn't as extreme here where it's every week.
Yeah,
hurricane season. So
crazy.
It's a little different. I don't know. It don't really scare me because I'm a big storm fan. Like I like storms. It's just relaxing to me.
You should have one of those reality shows where you go out and chase storms.
Storm chasers.
Yeah. So, how long have you been wrestling? I mean, as far as I can remember, back towards obviously WCW, like you've been around, man. How long has it been?
Man, without even counting like the trampoline stuff, man, probably 23, 24 years.
24 years. Wow. I've been doing like 18, and I can't even imagine doing another 6 on top of that, man.
I just turned 37, man. I feel old.
So obviously, there's been a lot of documentation and videos and interviews out there about like how you started and the group that you started with, but like, what was the true inspiration that made you like it's cool to mess around with your friends and stuff like that,
right? But
to be like, okay, like I'm doing this.
I was always a natural athlete. I played football, baseball, basketball, tennis. I was actually #1 seed in tennis, and
horrible.
The chick that I beat in tennis, she's a pro now.
Oh, yeah, it's gotta make you feel good, right?
I've talked to her in the past, I don't know, probably the past year or so. And it's kind of cool just knowing that, or whatever. But I kind of just switched up, man, the freshman year once I kind of knew that wrestling was gonna be it for me, because for some reason, man, in my bones, like I knew that's what I was gonna do to make a living.
Right.
And I went after it 100%.
I would be remiss if I didn't talk about 3 count. I shouldn't say a closet. I'm a boy band like fanatic. I think it's they're ridiculous, but they're super over, and I've always been super fascinated. When they brought the 3 count gimmick to you, were you like, this is gonna be the stupidest thing I've ever done?
Nah, man. I was excited because. It was WCW. It was my first contract, and at that time we wasn't really doing nothing. They hired 21 of us. I was the first out of 21 to be hired for. It was actually what they were going to do was a Tough Enough type thing.
Oh.
Eric Bischoff was back in WCW, and I don't know, they fired like everybody but me and Shane, pretty much. And they kept me and Shane, so I wasn't really doing nothing. It was kind of getting a little jittery to do something. Then finally Jimmy Hart had the idea to do the boy band thing, and he put Evan with us. And the rest is history.
Yeah, that was the 3 count songs. Those were actually Jimmy Hart originals, right?
Yeah, Jimmy wrote them, and we went to the studio. It was actually the studio that the Backstreet Boys. I'm pretty sure they did their whole first album in, I think. And we went in there, we cut the songs.
So it was actually you singing?
Yeah.
So, wow, I didn't know that. I thought it was
me, Shane, I'm sure what. Out of auto-tune.
How many hours were you in the studio for that? Because you guys did a couple songs, right?
Yeah, we did a couple of songs. We was in there probably a day and a half.
That's, did you ever see yourself like singing? Like, are you a good singer? Like outside of that?
I play guitar, man, but
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm not a singer. I can't sing.
Well, I mean,
I was always like, I just envisioned myself to be a rock star, and then whenever I ended up in a boy band, I was like, hold on, man, like what happened? So that's why I had to go ahead and get sleeved out and stuff as quick as possible, just to get rid of that. Image.
Being sleeved out, you worked with my boy Jesse Neal.
Yeah.
In TNA as Ink.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that come about? Were you just both there and you're like, hey, you know what would be a good idea, or was it presented to you, or?
Well, my first running TNA when I did the whole Mohawk thing, then I came back and I was gonna do the same gimmick again, but they really wasn't doing nothing with me. And then Jesse was there, and Jesse had a Mohawk, and it was funny because everybody was like, "Dude, you can make him shave his Mohawk." And
yeah, he's the green boy in this situation, right?
I was like, man, I don't care. You can keep his Mohawk because like stuff like that don't bother me. But I don't know. Russo come to me, and Russo's like, "Hey, man, what do you think about teaming with Jesse and Hill and maybe putting a makeshift tag team together?" And I was like, "Well, if we can do it, let's do it. Let's go all in." So we went all in, man.
Yeah, it was super over, man.
It got over, and we had a good run, like with Beer Money, and there was several tag teams. I mean, Motor City and. I mean, Young Bucks, like we had some good.
There was a time when TNA's like tag team division was it, man. And I guess with there's almost been a revival of tag teams, but I just hate seeing as an outsider looking in, I hate seeing the brand split on TV because you're like, man, I'd like to see this guy wrestle this guy, or this team wrestle this team, and you just never see those matchups, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's good in a way because you don't oversaturate your product by just kind of giving it just all at once. And you can build then over years and just kind of have those big pay-per-views that mean something where the guys do get a chance to touch each other. So I think it's important. I think it's important too for house show wise for people to have opportunity and to make money, and it creates more shows for everybody to work on. It's like the more shows there is for the boys to work on, the better the business is going to be.
Right,
I'm all for everybody to a job.
Yeah, definitely. I'm all for it, and which is weird when you see like guys, and especially guys in the business, and they're like, "LOL, TNA is going out of business." You're like, why would you even want that? There's legitimate. The stupidest thing that you could say if you're involved in wrestling is, "LOL, this company's going out of business," because I mean everybody needs work. So 2017 is going to be a big comeback for you, right? You're looking to hit it hard.
Yeah, I put my weight back on. I feel good in the gym. My body feels good. I've been wrestling some, the last part of 2016, and my body's held up. It feels great. Had a match Saturday night, and went out there. We went about 15-20 minutes, pretty hard, and I don't know, man. I'm just feeling young again, and I'm feeling my 20s.
I mean, you're still in your 30s, man.
I'm in my late 30s. 37.
That's just a number, man. But if you're feeling good, get back out there, hit it hard. So, a question: how many tattoos do you have? Do you know, or do they all blend in as one now?
Now I count hours.
Hours?
I probably got 100 hours or something like that.
I have none.
Oh yeah,
I have none. I'm just like
How have you made it through life without a tattoo?
That's a great question. I just I don't want to say I'm scared of the needle, but I'm scared of indecision.
Yeah.
I'm scared of indecision, like
man, like like with me, especially once you go on your hands and your neck, completely takes you out of society, and everybody looks at you different, like from doctors to police officers.
Right, of course, like you're instantly like a thug, or you're bad.
You're labeled immediately. And,
right.
So it might be a good thing,
One thing we like to do on the Milo Beasley Show is called the Top 5. We're asked a random question. So, top 5 concerts or bands that you would like to see perform before they stop performing.
Oh man, I'd like to see Courtney Love. Huge Courtney Love.
Completely threw me for a loop. Like I wasn't excited. I was like, oh well, whoever
I'd like to see Courtney Love. I'd like to see Manson get back in shape to the way he was on the Antichrist Superstar tour and the guys on the TV tour.
Right.
I'd like to see him old school Manson again before I die. Let me see. Actually, I'm not a big rap concert guy, just because I just think it's just too gimmicky and it's not my thing. But I would love to see DMX. DMX
yeah,
like a.
You're gonna make me lose my mind up in here.
Yes.
I heard these shows are like really fun, like just a blast.
That's what I've heard too. I've heard it's a blast, but I'd like to see DMX. Let me see, man. I wouldn't mind seeing Willie Nelson maybe. Just because he's such a legend, and I felt bad because I didn't get a chance to see Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard.
Right, yeah, definitely.
And those guys are
big Johnny Cash
original outlaws, man. It's like, let me see, one more. It's trying to pull something. Maybe Slipknot.
Slipknot, they're insane.
Yeah.
Like just absolutely like I've heard stories of just the pits just going crazy and people falling on top of each other and nobody, and then all next thing you know it's just like everybody's down and then everybody's up going crazy again.
What happened to music, man? Like I was just discussing this with my wife the other day. Like it's amazing the concerts. Like I was watching the it wasn't the Washington Bleach documentary that they did on Courtney Love trying to shame her, but it was the other Kurt Cobain documentary that they did. And but anyways, it was like the thing about it was like it was in Europe, man, right before he died or killed himself or whatever, and you know there was 100,000 people there, and it was just basically a couple guitars, the drums, and a couple people on stage, and they drew 100,000 people. It's like now bands have to have the whole setup, the backdrop, the pyro.
Right, the pyro, right.
I just like that old school, just grungy, like.
But I think in Europe they may still do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's, you know, there's the expression "big in Japan," but I think there's a lot of punk bands that tour exclusively, you know, in Europe.
Yeah,
and
I bet Europe is a different scene, I'm sure, but America is just kind of like.
Yeah, there's, you know, I look on, you know, on the, you know, summer tour schedules because that's when concerts are really big, and you're just like, there's just nothing I want to go to right now.
Yeah, it's there's just nothing that really. I think the last concert I went to was Kings of Leon. And it was Kings of Leon's. I'm a big fan of theirs, and it was good. It was a good concert, but it wasn't nothing like.
Their song "Your Sex Is on Fire." It really confuses me because it sounds like gonorrhea.
Yeah.
Like, so I never really like understood that song. So before we wrap up, where can folks find you on the social medias if they want to holler at you?
On Twitter at the Shannon brand. That's pretty much it, man. On Twitter. I'm not really into Facebook. I have one, but I can't tell you how to get to it because Facebook is so whack. There's so much negativity on there. I try to stay away from it.
Yeah, especially this past election and stuff, right?
Ah, dude, it's been brutal, man. Like, it's not even that. It's like every day it just seems like you go on there and it's like just stuff that I wouldn't even dream to let kids or anything watch.
Right.
And it's like, really? Like, how does Facebook even allow it on?
That's a great question. So anything else before we wrap up here?
Yeah, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for chatting with me, man.
Yes, sir.
That's been episode number 134 of the Milo Beasley Show. Thanks for watching, and continue watching, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.